There we go. Didn't push the button. All right, so we're going to watch a few videos here. And I should probably just start off with a little bit of a fucking trigger warning. Let's be real. A little bit of a trigger warning for this one, all right? We're going to start off because I saw this and it's wild. So I haven't watched this video yet. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but the thumbnail makes it look terrible, and the title doesn't do it much good either. It says, Florida teen beats teacher unconscious because she took away his Nintendo Switch. And this is from like Fox 11 in LA a week ago. So we're going to check it out, see what we think of it. Damn it, this cone just... I've tried lighting it like 4 times now. It's just it died immediately each time. That's a lie. I only did it twice. But we're gonna watch this video. We're gonna see how it goes. And let's keep in mind while we're watching this video as well, this is a teacher. So this is a full-grown adult woman. From the thumbnail, it looks like it's a woman at least. So I'm guessing, since I don't really know at the moment. But it looks like it's a female teacher, which would mean that she's an adult, because she's had to go through and get the degree to be able to teach and everything, right? She's got to have some sort of college education, so she's an adult. And this kid is maybe in high school, because it says teen, so I'm going to assume high school, right? Let's get into it and see what goes on here. And we're not going to follow Fox News. Like, I don't want to be inundated with their shit forever. It's... who wants that? Okay, and... oh, shit. Dude just ran up, knocked her... Look at this asshole just walking away. Holy shit. Knocked her out immediately and just, like, look at this. That took forever for anybody to do anything. That's terrible. And then they just pushed him off? Fuck that. Kick him in the face. If you're going to assault somebody like that, you deserve every bit of somebody fucking you up. I don't give a shit if you're a teenager or not. You deserve it. You're on top of an unconscious person, beating them into the ground. You deserve getting kicked in the face for that. You absolutely deserve to get kicked in the face if that's what you're doing. Like, they need to stop you somehow, and that's probably about all they can do. That is not good. That's not good at any stretch of the imagination at all. And here's the wild thing. Think about this. That's a teenage kid that just knocked this female teacher completely unfucking conscious, pretty much in one shot, and then pummeled her into the ground. Like, she wasn't expecting it either. And the shot you don't see coming is the one that knocks you out. For those of you who've never been in a fight, it doesn't really matter how strong you are. If you don't see the punch coming and it hits you in the right spot, you're probably getting knocked out because you weren't ready for it. You weren't braced for it. It's the same thing that happens in like MMA. The shots that knock guys out are typically shots that are not seen, or an additive thing because you've taken so many shots. But he completely overwhelmed her with power, speed, and force. And this is a prime example. A teenager knocking out an adult like that. Prime example. Prime. For why you should not be trying to force this agenda for the trans women. I assume. I get this wrong all the time. I don't know. So the people who transition from male to female, or man to woman, or however you say it, to please the community. The thing is, you can't push to have these people fighting grown-ass women who grew up as men. Like, if you grew up as a man, you can't be on equal terms competitively, especially in combat sports, with somebody who grew up a woman. Like, it's simply not going to happen. And the reason it's not going to happen is because of the fact that you are developing with a high level of testosterone in your system, and because of that, you're never going to be on an equal playing field. You're never going to have equal ground there. It's always an advantage for the person who had that high level testosterone during their development. And that's a prime example of how that works out. Absolutely should not have happened. This kid deserved to get kicked in the face. I can't believe they just let him walk away the way they did after that. The officers should have had him in handcuffs, arrested him, and pressed charges. Like, that was... Like, there's no way. No shot, dude. I'd fucking nail that kid right in the face. If it were me, I probably would have just kicked him to get him off of her, and then had he tried to get up, I would have probably just, like, arm in, choke, got on top of him, and arm in, boom, go to sleep. You can get woken up by some smelling salts when the cops have you in cuffs because you're violently attacking people for no good reason. This is literally over her taking away his Nintendo Switch. Like, you're so addicted to your Nintendo Switch that you couldn't put it down in class? Get the fuck out of here. That was wild. Alright, now we're going to watch this Emeru video. We're going to go to a higher note. We had to start there. Then we started there so that we could get through it and just move on and have a better time. But that's wild. And I just wanted to show everybody how wild the world is. So we're going to watch Emeru's video, where she asked every member of OTK like 18 questions. And because of the people that are in OTK, I just expect this to be hilarious and a fun video to watch.
Do you love boating? Well,
I also didn't know that video was going to be muted, but, you know, it is what it is.
We buy the boats and you enjoy them.
Oh, they buy the boats if you're part of the boat club.
First, we buy and maintain a fleet of brands.
Wait. Go. I can't take you back, Ad. So that boat that was there, that's such bullshit. You're not going to get access to that boat for you to take it out. That's a Navy vessel. This is like a battleship. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I wasn't in the Navy. I'm not able to just identify what types of ships, what class of vessel. Get the fuck out of here.
You pay a one-time fee and monthly dues.
Get the... Oh, and monthly dues. Yeah. Uh-huh. No.
Just arrive at the dock where you'll be greeted by a friendly staff member, hop on your reserved boat, and enjoy your day out on the water.
What if, like, that ship right here is the one I was talking about? You're not fucking getting access to that ever. Good luck. You might get to do, like, a tour or a walk around on it or some shit, but you're not ever gonna get that boat. The way they panned around it like that was part of the video was ridiculous. Alright. What an ad.
Okay, so today, I would like to present to everyone the OTK company survey. So,
alright, let's see.
Basically, I was encountering with a problem.
Wait, she came up... I like this. Emeru's approaching this like a science project. She's conducting a science experiment on OTK with this questionnaire, and I like... Oh, look! Up here, they even have their phallic symbol. I love it.
And the problem is that everyone around me is...
Well, not for OTK, but Starforge.
So I had this idea...
They're fake as fuck.
What if I make an anonymous
What?
ballot where streamers can vote completely anonymously of which of their friends they like or hate the most?
Oh, no.
You won't have to worry at all about viewers or even each other knowing what they really think. So the result of this study was I exposed all these people are actually shit, terrible human beings.
Alright.
So step one, I
Oh,
messaged
no.
everybody in OTK, and I basically got them to agree to do this. I collected screenshots of all of this. So you can see Tectone, Emily, Sear, NMP Tips, Soda.
I love that she sends, like, would you fill out a survey for me with this picture of this cat in a suit. Like, the cat in the suit is presenting you with this questionnaire. Hello, sir. Will you please fill out this questionnaire for me? I would love to know your answers and thoughts. Thank you for your time.
Miz, I sent him the link. He
Like, and everybody did it.
And then linked me
Oh, okay. So Miskiff did not acknowledge my link, then sent me a LSF post. Still filled it out. S-Fan had to message him multiple times. He's, in all honesty, it might be like me. Like, if you're trying to message me on, like, TikTok or something, like, I don't even have notifications on to send shit to my phone through most social media, like most of it. So if you're trying to contact me through social media, you're going to have to wait till I care to get on it for me to even see it, because otherwise I'm not paying attention. So I'd assume the reason she had to go through all this is because S-Fan did the same thing. So S-Fan said, had to message multiple times, message his roommates, called him twice, and it still took over 24 hours. Like, calling him twice, it's a little much. Like, if you were to just shoot me a text and ask and be like, hey, I sent you this thing on Discord, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll go check it out. I never use Discord like a normal communication thing. It's literally, I use it to communicate if I have to, for, like, raids or playing a game with somebody or something. Like, I don't use it to just chat with people like a social media group network discussion board thing like most people do. I just don't interact with it that way. There's too much of that shit around, and I just can't bring myself to interact in more of it. It's too much.
LSF post immediate, like within 3 minutes, but he still filled it out, so it was fine. And then S-Fan, I messaged him on Discord like 4 times.
Also, if you guys haven't followed the Steak and Eggs podcast, I highly suggest you do. They've got 3 out right now. Okay, I am subscribed to Emeru. So they do have 3 podcasts out right now, and it is a great podcast. It's very entertaining, it's very funny, and I have enjoyed each episode to a great amount. I'm happy they're doing it. It's Tectone, Emeru, and Asmongold, and it's been a good time to view so far.
Like, everyone else was done like 12 hours before he was. It's fine. The point is, I got it. It was fine.
S-Fan took 12 more hours.
I sent them a Google form.
I do need to, like, we're gonna do it right here. So I do have to point this out because it drives me fucking nuts when girls do this. Why do girls take their lipstick, like, down here, she's got it around her lip, and then here her lip looks like it does this, but she does her lipstick up here like she's trying to change the shape of her mouth. And even if Emeru's not doing that, there are plenty of girls and women who do, and it drives me fucking nuts. Like, that's not where your lip is. You're already pretending to look different with the makeup. Why the fuck are you pretending to have different lips too? It's wild.
Document that I make. So basically, I wrote a bunch of questions.
I need to go back because I kind of pause champed that too hard. I didn't follow what she said there.
I sent them
Okay.
a Google Forms document that I make. So basically, I wrote a bunch of
Okay.
questions. Like, this is an example, and I didn't actually use this one. Who is the most annoying? And then all 10 members are options.
Okay. So this is smart. This is smart.
That I stole from TikTok. Step 3. So these are the rules.
And it's smart because it makes a chart and everybody can read a chart. Charts are easy, especially like pie graphs like that, because it's a very stark and simple way of looking at what comes up the easiest, the fastest, and what were the most common types of answers, right? Like in this case. Like, it's always just a very like, oh, okay, this is what the majority of this was. Like, it makes it very simple to tell.
I told all of them, I asked that they don't vote for themselves, especially on the good ones.
No, everybody has an ego that's streaming for the most part, so they're definitely doing that. The people who weren't doing that they've checked their egos. Most people don't check their egos.
And the responses were anonymous. I didn't get their emails or anything, so I don't know who answered what, but I mean, you can kind of guess. And
You can kind of
who
guess.
voted were the
Yeah.
10 people that were also options, so it was just the 10 members of OTK, so everyone, and tips, I also voted, and I had 18 questions. I also made a tier list of how challenging it was to get them to fill out the survey. I'll kind of tell the screenshots I
lie. My favorite one is Miskiff. And the reason Miskiff is my favorite one is because he didn't say anything. He just sent a fucking image and then he did it.
Ms. Tits Nick, it was pretty easy. Sear and Soda, they got it done. It took them a little bit, but they got it done. And then S-Fan was very, very fucking difficult. So here are the results.
He didn't even answer his phone.
Okay, so I started with some easy questions, and then there were some more drama ones later. Who is the most athletic? Why did one person say Asmund? What's wrong with you?
Why'd someone say Asmund? What's wrong with you? Like, there's no way Asmongold is fucking athletic. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't exercise. He doesn't do anything. He's taller than me, and his entire arms are about as big around as my wrist. Like, a dude gets no exercise at all, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious somebody would say Asmongold is fucking... that he's the most athletic. I don't think he's ever even really played a sport, like, in a competitive I'm on a team sense. Like, maybe, like, pickup games, but never like I joined a team and now I'm going to play for a full season. Like, he doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
So 7 people and only voted for Nick.
No, I would agree.
One for S-Fan. I don't think it's really a
I should have
surprise.
said this. I would agree. Nick does seem like he would be the most athletic. Miskiff seems like he's in shape and would be capable of being athletic, but I don't really know. He does content that's not something I really consume on a regular basis, so I may just be less informed. And S-Fan, I think S-Fan is probably the most athletically capable, but that he stopped maintaining it. Because if I'm not mistaken, S-Fan actually used to compete in, like, football, didn't he? Wasn't he, like, on a football team and like pretty decent level of it, relatively? Like, I'd say that S-Fan probably deserves a higher portion of that than Miskiff does, based on his past. But that's also me being completely ignorant of what Miskiff's past is, because, like I said, I just don't consume much of his content.
I was a little surprised that no one voted for anyone else, but I guess, like, who the fuck else would you vote for?
Exactly. You wouldn't really vote for anybody else. Let's be real. They did vote for Asmund once.
Alright, next.
Why didn't you give him a sliver? Asmund.
I wanted them to vote you? No, I didn't say
Asmund. 100%. It's Asmund.
that. I mean, why would they vote
Asmongold has to be.
Make sense.
Of course her chat's gonna say it's her, but it's 100% Asmongold.
60.
Accurate. I think that's an accurate chart. Miskiff deserves the 10% because, like I said, I don't know much about him, but he seems like he's athletically capable, but I don't think he's really been very athletic ever. So I'd put him there too. I've never watched anything from Extra Emily, so I have nothing to say there. Emaru and Asmongold, I'd say that's fair.
50% of OTK.
I'd also have to say Emaru, maybe just 10% is what I would expect, but that's because you can't have a decent body figure that looks healthy like Emaru's does if you don't exercise, and exercising enables athleticism.
6 people voted for Asmund. 2 voted for me. 1 voted for Extra Emily, and 1 voted for Miz. I don't know who voted for Miz. It wasn't me. He voted himself? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Alright.
Oh no. Okay, who would die first in a horror movie? It's Nick. It's Nick. It's Nick, okay? Rules of horror movies, right? The black guy dies first, doesn't he? Isn't that like a horror movie thing? Like, it's not my genre. This is actually a genre movie that I don't really like, but isn't that the trope? So it would have to be Nick, wouldn't it? Let's see.
Who would die first in a horror movie? This one was interesting. 6 people voted for
Yep. I was right. Fucking A, Cotton. The trope proved true.
Nick. And then it was a 4-way
I can't believe Asmongold isn't higher up, though. Like, let me explain. Because I can't believe that Asmongold isn't higher up on this list. Like Nick, obviously, because of the trope, right? But like Asmongold should be a clear second place because he's so not physically developed that he'd be like an easy target. You know what I mean? Like, and then Emaru and Extra Emily would be easy targets as well because once again, like, smaller figure, easy target, right? Like, soft targets are what you're going to target, not hard targets. Like, a more athletic person is going to be harder to sneak up on and attack and kill than like somebody who's not athletic. You know what I mean?
Emily, Asmon, and Soda. Keep in mind this is an anonymous poll. It's anonymous. Anyway, moving on.
We're going to throw a like here already because I enjoy it. Oh no, who's most likely to kill somebody? Let's think about it. I don't know much about everybody on OTK, and like I've already said, I don't consume all of their content. I just consume some content from some of them. Oh man, who's the most likely to be the killer? Let's go with Mizkif. I'm going to go with Mizkif because if you just look at Mizkif, it looks like you could take stills of Mizkif from his stream and they look like mugshots, like legitimate serial killer mugshots. So we're going to go with Mizkif.
Voted for Seer. 2 people voted for Techie.
I don't know Seer's content. I could see thinking Tectone and like Asmongold might do it, but you'd easily just get rid of Asmongold because it would require him to leave his house. You could eliminate Tectone for the same reason, I suppose. But being opinionated typically makes people think that you're more prone to violence. So that's why I say them.
Nick, Soda.
But I'm still going to go with Mizkif because he looks like a serial killer mugshot when you freeze frame him. So we're going to go with that.
Interesting that only guys got voted for this one.
It is interesting, but it is the more common thing.
I don't think
Statistically, it's the more common thing.
he's not on it at all. Who's the most reliable?
Oh, I'm not even going to say a name because I'd have no clue. You'd have to interact with them to have an input on this.
Responsible. I can't believe people are saying me. What the heck? Nick won this one too.
Oh, you know what though? I feel like it should be tips. Right? I didn't think about it much because like this seems like something you'd have to know them to really have any input on, right? You'd have to interact with them to be like, ah, yeah, this person's reliable, this person's not. But I feel like tips should be pretty like way higher than 20%. I feel like because tips is behind the scenes doing a whole fucking lot for OTK and has been since they were setting it up, right? So I feel like tips deserves a lot higher here than he's got. But once again, you go through like I said, and maybe not. I have no idea, but I feel like tips deserves a lot of credit here.
Oh, I didn't get a single vote. 6 people voted for Nick. 1 person voted for Mitt. Wait, maybe you guys are right. I actually don't remember the results. So if there's 1 vote for Miz on everyone, then maybe he did just vote for himself on everyone.
Let's be real. I could see Mizkif voting on everyone because of the little content of his that I have consumed. He's got enough of an ego to be like, I deserve to be on every one of them.
I think that this is because Nick just helps everyone no matter what if they ask.
Oh, so Nick's just a really helpful. He's a really helpful person.
You can always count
That makes
on
sense.
the end at noon, except for today, I guess. Okay, next question.
That makes sense.
Who's the
That makes
least
sense.
reliable?
So this is the same type of thing, but I'm gonna say that Asmongold is probably up there on least reliable because, like, if you look at his stream, it varies so wildly on when he's going to stream because his sleep schedule constantly changes. Because he's just like, I'm gonna get up when I get up, and I'm gonna go to sleep when I go to sleep, and I'm just gonna play games the whole time that I feel like playing games. So Like if he's not eating or like taking a bio break, he's playing games, right? Unless he's got something else like a meeting or an OTK thing to put together, or like, you know, like an event to do or whatever. So unless he's doing something like that, like he's typically streaming, you know, or at least gaming. So I feel like that would put Asmongold pretty high on the least reliable list. But once again, I don't know them, so I feel like it's not a fair place to judge.
So
Okay.
this one was close to
Okay.
a four-way tie, but we only have
I'll say this too. I'm happy to see that Tips isn't here for all the same reasons that I said Tips deserves to be a little higher up on the reliable list.
10 people in OTK. So 3 people voted for Aswin, 3 voted for Miz, and then 2 for Techie and 2 for S-Fan. I don't really know why Techie got 2 votes.
You know what? An S fan deserves to be pretty high on this because of how hard it was to get him to participate.
Because I feel like he always shows up to stuff. Asmon does too, I guess, but he, I guess maybe it's because of Zach Rar. You are all least reliable? What?
That doesn't even make sense. You're all least reliable.
Nobody
You
voted
can't.
for you.
Not everybody can be least reliable, because then nobody's the least reliable. Everybody would have 10%, right? Get out of here. That's nonsense.
I
What a,
do
what a
show up-
ridiculous comment to have given her.
I ever not show up to something unless it's my own stream, but
Unless it's my own stream.
I'm comfortably in the middle. I'm not reliable or unreliable. And when no one expects something either way, then you have freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah, and then everybody's just pleasantly surprised with the result that you show up.
Anyway, moving on.
And they're not really disappointed if you're not there.
Who do you think has the most money?
It's a good point. I'm gonna go with Asmongold because I feel like Asmongold doesn't spend a lot of money. So Asmongold probably just has a lot of money like stored away like a squirrel stores their nuts. And I feel like because Asmon stores away his money like that, even if he doesn't make the most money, he has the most money. Like physically has the most liquid asset, cash. Like it, well, maybe not cash, but like bank account funds, you know?
Obvious 2 or 3 answers, but the reason I put this question on the survey was I wanted to see what all the egos thought.
That's a fair point.
Egos
That's a fair point. All the egos, yes.
A lot of people don't know.
Oh,
this,
no!
But if you have the YouTube app on your phone, you could be using it to make up to $10,000 a month. thanks
All
to
right,
the
we're not gonna watch this
videos.
because it's gonna be some. We're gonna skip ads like that every time because it's some sort of scam shittery, and like, I'm not gonna promote the scam shittery.
So I don't think it's any surprise.
I'd be mad if they put one of those ads on my shit, to be honest.
It was very close. Asmon won by 1 vote.
Wow.
Miz won by 3.
Like, and see, like Soda Poppin's another person. It's like here and there, there's stuff that I consume of his, but it's mostly just like a clip here or there. It's not really anything to really have any kind of judgment or insight. And Miss Kiff just seems like somebody who has money because it's how he presents himself. But like I said, Asmongold deserves that one.
I think I voted for Asmon, so maybe I was the swinging vote. I don't know. I actually filled out the poll first, so I wasn't influenced. So, I don't know. People think Miz got no money. It's because of the 400k thing, but I mean, the only reason that that's even a thing is because his money is in investments.
That makes sense. Like, yeah, see, like, if Miz's money is in investments, then he doesn't have it because the way investments work, unless it's something like, if you're investing in something like property and you're renting it out or you're leasing it out or you're using it for like Airbnb or something like this, something of this nature that brings you in regular intervals of money on like a even just like a monthly basis. You could have stocks in something, right? Putting you like, and say that your estimated wealth and net value is at like $5 million because of the stocks you own. Well, you don't actually have $5 million. You have to sell those stocks to have the money, so you don't actually have money. You have stock. And you're hoping it gains value so that when you do sell it, you make money. So until you sell it, you haven't made any money and you haven't lost any money. You've just invested and you're waiting. You're waiting to see what happens with that money. So for like how I described it leading into this, investments wouldn't work out, but that does make sense that Miskiff's put most of his money into investment, because making content isn't something you can do forever, and it's not setting you up for a retirement fund, so you have to figure out a way to do that yourself, and investment is how you would do that.
Right, guys?
That makes perfect sense.
Why Asmon? Bro,
Because he doesn't spend any money, and he makes so much money. Like, you have to understand, he gets so many viewers. He's got 4 YouTube channels, and like one of them doesn't really do much. It's like old content, but the other 3 all do pretty well. So he's getting all the ad revenue off of those channels, and then all the people who watch him, not just on his Asmongold channel, but on Zach Rar, and then all the donations and subs he gets, so all the money he gets from there. Like, that and the fact that Asmongold is such a large streamer that he doesn't get... Well, I guess it's not fair because all 3 of these guys are in the same bracket. They don't really get many sponsored offers to play shit. So I guess that's a moot point because all 3 of these guys are probably in that same bracket. But, like, with Asmongold not spending money, but having that kind of income, of course he's going to have a lot of money. It makes sense.
30 hours. And have you seen Asmon's YouTube? Asmon's like
Exactly. That's my
almost
point.
as big as like Moist Critical on YouTube.
Yeah, he's
I don't
huge.
even want to know how much he makes on YouTube. That shit's probably disgusting.
Like, there was this, like, almost a 6-month period of time where I'd assumed I was subscribed to like 2 of Asmongold's YouTube channels because he came across my suggestions so often. And then I realized one day that I wasn't actually subscribed to him, and I thought that I was. So I subscribed to him because I just assumed that I did it anyway. And like, that's how big his channel is that it just comes by.
Oh, that's the other thing. Asmon doesn't spend money. I don't think.
Oh, see, she got to it.
Either, to be fair.
Yeah, see, I have no idea. I don't know anything about Soda really. I don't, like I said, I don't consume much of his at all.
The results for this were funny in their own way.
Oh man. So who is the funniest? I guess this would entirely depend on what type of content you're consuming, because it depends, like, is it in person funny is different than like on stream funny, and on stream funny is different than like produced content for videos on YouTube funny, and like stuff you pre-record and you edit and then you upload, and that is different than taking clips from a stream that are specifically like a funny moment kind of funny. And I'm interested to see how this goes. Like, I'm not even going to throw out something because it depends on all those things.
I'll explain
But we'll see. But I think Asmongold's funny, but not always. You know?
Okay, so first interesting thing.
Holy shit. Every one of these guys got 2 votes.
It was
Oh,
five
S-Fan is...
votes.
And like an S-Fan, I can watch S-Fan videos and just laugh hysterically. But a lot of the time, it's one because S-Fan is having such a good time and laughing himself, and laughing for me is contagious. Like, if I'm around people that are laughing, I'm laughing too, even if I didn't think it was funny, because the laughter is contagious. So that's part of S-Fan being funny for me. And the other part of it is he's watching funny stuff. Like when he's watching, shit, I can't think of the name. I'm so bad at names. But when he's watching like the AI stuff, it's so funny. So funny. And it's not S-Fan that's being funny. It's like AI S-Fan that's being funny. And the AIs that are hilarious. But it makes S-Fan's content funny content. So it like, that's what I meant by it depends on how you're defining funny.
Hi. Second, it's kind of strange that no one voted for me or Emily. But anyway, so Nick, Ms. Sear, Soda S-Fan all got 2 votes.
That is hilarious. Like, there is no winner. There are only losers.
I think
The 5 people who didn't get put up there, they're all the losers, and that's about it.
I'm sorry, man.
That's the only way it goes.
All the dudes voted for themselves. That's something I was wondering about. I wonder who voted for this pie chart, it's probably safe to assume they probably didn't vote for themselves much at all. Alright,
Well, yeah.
next question. I asked...
They have the smallest egos. They've
who's the
checked
most
that before.
dramatic?
The most dramatic. That's a good question. That is a good question. Oh, man. I feel like... Oh, man. I don't know how this one's going to go out, actually. Let's just see. I feel like Asmongold's pretty dramatic when he's on his Asmongold channel.
Okay.
But that's because he's amped up. But let's see. Oh, yeah, gas stoves. That's the way to go. I have a stupid ass induction stove, and I don't know if there's a gas line in my kitchen for a gas stove, or I'd have one. I'd put one in for sure. I fucking hate induction stoves so much. You have to cook with fire, or you're being a bitch. Just cook with fire. It's way better. Every time. Always cook with fire. Gas stoves forever.
Tectone got 4 votes.
See, in like Tectone, I haven't consumed a whole lot of his stuff, but being opinionated, maybe he seems dramatic because of his opinions, and then being amped up for it because he's streaming. And I don't know, I've never consumed Sears content, so I don't really know. And like, I don't know if Tips is still like how he was when he was streaming, or if he's different because he's not streaming like you used to, you know? So like, I have no idea. That's why I didn't want to get into it.
And Miz got 4 votes.
It's because I just legitimately don't
Most
know.
dramatic. And then Sierra got 1, which
And I'm going to be perfectly honest, this is typically how I consume content from streamers, is YouTube videos. Like, I don't typically enjoy watching the live streams. Like, I do it from time to time, but it's not my go-to content consumption. It's not what I enjoy watching. Because I like to do other stuff while I'm watching. And, like, watching a stream seems like I always feel like it's more involved. And it's just not how I consume stuff like that, I guess.
I guess they meant dramatic, like theatrical. And then Tips got 1 for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, see? That I was a little confused, too. So, okay.
Tips? I would say it's because of the meetings. Because
Okay.
I've seen things get a little bit heated at the owners' meetings. But I'm gonna just say it's not Tips who's the worst. I'm not gonna say who is the worst, but it's not Tips. It is not me. You already know I'm sitting there saying nothing, observing. Who sucks the most at driving? And most people in OTK have all been in like driving with each other. So I was like, everyone probably knows.
I would have zero idea. It would just be
Oh, I forgot that
speculation.
Emily, bottomed
So I'm
out
not going to
Ari.
do it. What, Emily bottomed out a car? Okay, so Emily deserves it then in my book, because now we have insight into Emily bottoming out a car.
And
So we're going to say that
it's
she
because
deserves it.
First-hand experience.
But I don't have any knowledge of any of them driving. Oh, that's
Emily
terrible.
actually got no votes.
Poor S-fan.
S-Fan's the worst driver.
Poor
The
S-fan.
problem with S-Fan
That's funny.
is, he'll like press the gas and then let go, and then press the gas and then let go, and like hit the brake and then hit the gas. So it's like you're always like this in the car.
Why?
Miz got second. I was.
Why is that how he drives?
The runner-up. And then Soda got 1 vote. I've actually never been in the car with Soda driving, so I can't speak on that. But maybe Nick voted for him for that, because I don't know if anyone else has been in the car with Soda. I don't know.
Why does S-fan drive the way he
Doesn't
does?
he have a car though? Is that just like a big streamer thing? Yeah, I forgot about the R8 thing, or I might have voted Emily. I don't know. Anyway.
But if you voted Emily, why isn't she up there with like a 10%,
Who
right?
has the best drip?
What?
Yeah, I think this one was a.
I think when I hear drip, I think of something that I'm sure they aren't saying.
6 figures on cars have never driven them just because they have no
That's ridiculous. Why would you do that?
8 people voted for Seer, 1 for Esfand, and 1 for Emily.
I have no idea what they
I
meant.
don't think this was any surprise. For a while,
Like when I hear drip, I think of something that they're definitely not talking about. So I'm not gonna get into it.
Bro, have you seen me? You
What?
gotta be mentally ill to want to dress like this. Anyway, no.
So just talking about clothes. So are they talking about clothes? She used drip like clothes? Because I've never heard anybody refer to clothes and like style as drip.
They don't count. Anyway. All right. Next question.
The best gamer? But this is a loaded question. Because what game? Like what style of game? What type of game? Because everybody who's good at games is bad at other types of games, right? Like you're not good at every type of game, but you're gonna like you won't be excellent at every type of game, but you could be good at every type of game. But you'll excel at certain types of games over others, and that kind of describes it. This is where we're really gonna see egos as well. This is gonna be good.
I'm sure if people voted for themselves.
Oh no, I'm sure everybody wanted to vote for themselves on this. That's why you asked it. What?
There was a variety of answers for this one. 4 people voted for Soda. 2 people
Okay.
voted for me and Nick.
Now I'm gonna assume they voted for Soda because Soda plays like a wider variety, and he does it very well, consistently. So that seems fair. At least that's what I've consumed of his content. Seems to be that way. Maybe I'm wrong.
And 1 for Asmin and 1 for Techie. Now I will say, Techie is very adamant that he is the sleeper best gamer in OTK.
Like let's be real. Asmongold probably voted for himself here, and Tectone probably did too. Let's be real.
Probably. No, I don't know.
Let's be real. They're probably like, "Psh, no shot, bro. Me.
I don't know.
You know it.
Alright.
Who's the worst gamer? This is where nobody voted for themselves. Nobody.
Who is the worst gamer?
This saves me a ton of time because it only takes
Oh
35
man,
minutes
what
to
a
make.
time to
I
have
worked
the
Monday to
ads.
Friday, and I decided to switch out my lunch for Huel and know that I'm getting a nutritious lunch without having to worry about going to the grocery store, finding the food I want, preparing it, cooking it, cleaning up. This is just so much easier. It
I'm
also
so
gives me
confused
lunch
about
time
this
for
because
things
Huel
that I
always
normally
seems to be
don't have
different
time
things
for.
when I
Things
see
like going
ads,
for a
and
walk,
I don't
going to the
understand.
gym. It also doesn't get old because they have 10 different flavors to choose from, so I can have a different meal every day of the week. Having
Different flavors are not different meals. The fuck? If you're eating like different flavors of oatmeal, that doesn't make it a different meal. It's still fucking oatmeal. What a douche.
the Mexican chili today, I think this one is my favorite one. I just love chili. I already ate this whole thing. Cajun pasta. Honestly, I can't believe this one came out of a bag. This is really good. Today I'm trying yellow coconut curry. Honestly, I think I've had curry like 1 time in my life. Oh damn. Guys, this is so good. How have I missed out on this my entire life? Chicken and mushroom. I love
Because people
anything
don't eat out of
chicken and
bags.
Mushroom, so I have high hopes for this one. That is so good. Honestly, I could eat this for like every meal. So it only takes a minute. It's really good for you, and it's cheap. And it just tastes so good, guys.
Oh wow, it's only like $4 a serving? Okay. Now I know why people get it. It's cheap, which makes it
I was
affordable.
surprised people voted Seer. 3 people voted for Seer.
Wow. So they voted Seer, they voted Tips, and they voted Extra Emily, and they voted Miss Kiv.
Emily, Miz.
Those were the top ones. And then Asmongold got 1 vote.
He doesn't really play games anymore, besides WoW sometimes. And then 1 vote for Asmin. It's because he doesn't play WoW. Yeah, does anyone have any insight to why 3 members of OTK voted for Seer? I genuinely have no idea who would have voted for Seer. He's kind of a boomer. Yeah, but aren't most people in this org? They're just jealous.
I don't know why they would vote for Seer because I've never consumed his content.
Well, then who are the other two people? I don't know. You did admit it. I didn't. I'm not gonna say who I voted for, but it wasn't Seer. Who do you think is the nicest?
This is probably where we see Emaru and Extra Emily pop up really high, I'd assume, right? Because it's a bunch of guys in the org and they're the girls, right? So that's my
I
guess.
had to start with this one. Alright. So, I wasn't surprised that Emily won. But I
Okay.
was a runner-up with Nick.
Now, Nick,
So Emily got 4.
that makes sense for Nick to be tied with Emaru as a runner-up because of how Emaru was explaining how anytime you ask for help for something with Nick, how he helps out, right? So that would make Nick come across